it's Dale here. Today I'm going to show you some of my favourite silk bits and pieces, and these are the silk carrier rods. When they spin the silk from the cocoons, all the waste goes onto a rod and it curls around it, and that's where the name came from. And you can iron them, of course, which will say they come to me looking like this, so they roddy type, and you could make great tree stumps, or they come as bits and pieces, or they come as scrappy little pieces, and sometimes they've got the cocoons outer still on them and so on. But you get them and you can iron it flat. Already you can see interesting texture. I'll take one that I've ironed, and if I start to just pull it out a little bit, you can, this is the part that I like and always on about, they've got this most wonderful texture in it, layers, and you can pull when you take them. There are layers to pull off, so you can become very, very fine, and you can from here spin it right out into a single piece. Now these natural ones have got the sericin in, so when you apply liquid like water or sprays or whatever, and then heat, they will adhere to themselves. They're a bit trickier than the the cocoon strippings, but here's two that I've put together. They've long since dried, but you can see that they're quite a structure there. They've got it like a seam, a French seam on the top, and I do them all sorts of things with them. So here I've used them to make a frame for an image. This is a pretty old one, so it's not in such good nick, but it's actually down at Okarito on the west coast of the South Island in New Zealand, and it's the on the water, the poles, and so I've used it for a frame. They make fabulous frames. I don't know where that came from, and to frame up a piece or to do whatever you like. And of course you can hand stitch into them or machine stitch. I haven't got any hand stitching here, but I'll show you what I've done with these. These are some white plain ones, and I have put them onto a piece of violin. Any backing will do, felt, whatever you've got, and you can see my stitching. I've added a few circles and things, but that's how they are. And this is their natural colour, and of course, like the cocoon strippings, you can use walnut ink or the coffee grains or your tea bags. What about nice like a rose petal tea bag, so the colours that you use, or you can spray them with the sprays, with any sprays. As I said, don't use acrylic paints. It just sits on the surface like a plastic, changes it. Now these ones these are white ones that I've put onto the surface, and that's the stitching. You can see all the stitching on the back, and I've sprayed them with Starburst Stains sprays quite a long time ago, and you can see the bits of mica all over the place. So you can use them in your stitching. They're beautiful. Just think of them also as petals for putting flowers on the top, you know, not petals, but like stalks and things. We put them down and then put flowers over the top of them. These ones here have been dyed, and they're dyed with acid dyes, and how they make a wonderful, that's again put onto a backing. The backing doesn't matter. This is simply some violin, and then there they are, all dyed up and already, just fabulous for stitching onto. Now this is what they look like when they have been dyed. They come to me and I work on them. So you've got all the different colours that you want, whatever you want to do. We sell them as in mixed bags, but you know, you can see what I've got. So if you take a dyed one, pull it apart with the acid dyes, it goes all the way through, of course. And then let's just pretend we're making a flower. So roll them up and roll them quite wide here, and you can open it, make it wider at the top to make a flower top or a bead or whatever you've got. And just while Ian's showing you the pictures, let's grab this, and these are some flowers that I made for when we were in Paris with the roses. I had to photograph because they wouldn't buy me any, but you know, they're still going. They would have been dead. So I rolled them up, and I've cut them into slices so they're my roses all rolled up. But to have them as open flowers, simply, these are pretty, you know, the texture. Look at the wonderful texture. But so you've got like a little bunch of flowers there, And so there are endless things you can do with them. They also paper cast quite well. There's another one that's been joined together, very, very nice and lacy. So I really like them. They're so useful for anything. They just don't look so exciting when you see them. Well, there's a big bag you buy and you think, oh, they're pretty grotty, what am I going to do with them? But they turn into beautiful little flowers, beautiful pieces to stitch on. Just strong, it's silk, etc, etc. So I hope that's given you a few ideas. Or last before I go, this is a vase I made. And so I've used them and put them all together to make a 3D object. So they're pretty strong and just effective. So hope you have enjoyed that. Thanks very much. See you again. Bye bye.